One of our top stories for 2 days now, bombshell allegations against Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, getting zero coverage in the network newscast last night. Zero on all three. So can we expect Joe Biden to be pressed on the issue when he and President Trump take part in dueling town halls tonight? Fox News analyst Lawrence Jones joins us right now, and there finally is the graphic, Lawrence. Zero time on the networks last night. So do you think George Stephanopoulos is going to ask Joe Biden about these allegations in the New York Post, even though his own network didn't even cover it last night on the nightly news?
I think the potential of him glossing over it is pretty high. Look, I think this goes back to the utter disdain for their audience. All of these guys have political affiliations, and this is why they can't do accurate reporting. I'm not saying that the allegations are true because I don't know. Right. But I do know there's a lot of smoke there, and it's their job to go after the truth. But I think because of these guys are so politically tied, and it's the fourth quarter of this political election, they're afraid that it may hurt their candidate. And that's just not serving their audience. The fact that there was not alarms ringing from the press, that Facebook and Twitter were suppressing the First Amendment when it came down to journalism, when they know good and well that they publish stories with unnamed sources every single day, is just stunning to me. So again, don't be surprised when this happens to your report, since you didn't speak up for a publication that you don't like. But they did actual reporting. They had a lot of sourcing in it. They provided documents. They provided pictures. And so the fact that they won't defend this report is stunning to me.
Well, but what about the fact that Twitter and Facebook both said, we're not going to allow people to share the link to the New York Post stories. And in fact, they've frozen, I think, the New York Post whole account as well on Twitter. So people are, rather than read the story and you decide for yourself, because they tell exactly the chronology of the events that led up to them winding up with this information. But instead of letting people do that, they're just saying, nope, we're going to be the judge for you.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the mission statement of Twitter, they said that their mission is to let information go without barriers, and they are definitely putting up barriers. Look, I think it's pretty sad. I'm a libertarian. I believe that private businesses should be able to conduct themselves the way they want to conduct themselves. Right. But these people aren't acting like they said they were going to act. And the fact that they're selectively deciding what stories can be published, I think is concerning for all Americans. This is a lot of shady stuff that's going on. And I think it may have to do with former communications director of Kamala Harris being on their communication staff, their director of communication, all of these.
Oh, come on, Lawrence, that's a coincidence.
Well, I don't think so. So again, look, it's not my job to take teams when it comes to political candidates. At the end of the day, I'm honest with this audience. They know I'm a libertarian, but they know I'm going to go out there every single day and provide analysis on what I see on the ground. This is not what these reporters are doing. So I just hope George Stephanopoulos starts to ask some questions. Maybe we can get to the bottom of this, but this non-answer, I don't think is going to fly with American voters.
Well, you mentioned it's not your job. You know what your job is? To talk to the people. You were in Des Moines last night talking to the people at a Trump rally, and we've got some highlights. Watch this.
Judge Barrett, she wants to be on the Supreme Court. She's going through a tough hearing right now. Do you think she's been treated fairly?
No. However, she's holding her own, and she's doing a great job. So we're real proud of her.
She is so amazing. It's like they keep trying to trip her up and they just can't.
She has an intellect like no other, probably one of the smartest people that's ever going to come into the Supreme Court. So I don't really think she's fazed by any of the questions she was asked.
What do you think happens at the end of the day? Do you think she gets confirmed?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, it looks like Amy Coney Barrett has a lot of fans last night, but then again, they're fans of the president, so that made sense.
Well, as you know, Steve, 48% of voters now are saying that they think she should be confirmed. 31% believe that she shouldn't, but that's a 17-point spread, as well as 2%. That's up 2% from last week. So, again, what are the people saying? They want her to be confirmed.
All right, let's see what happens. There's another day of testimony. She, however, will not be in the hot seat in 34 minutes. Lawrence, thank you very much. Good job in Iowa yesterday. Check him out over on Fox Nation with One Nation.